Hi, welcome back to my channel. Not 100% sure why I've decided to do this video outside. I thought it could be fun to do a heat-proof, humidity-proof, sweat-proof makeup look, everyday makeup look for here in Singapore. I started kind of perfecting my own routine when I lived in Miami because it's also very humid there, and I kind of just ran with it since being here in Singapore. So I thought I would share my routine. Something worth mentioning is that I have dry skin. So if you have oily skin, this routine may not be the routine for you. Throughout the day, you will get like oily here and stuff, but I've just found that this is the routine that doesn't feel heavy or cakey on my skin. At the end of the day, you kind of just have this like, it's like you have nothing on, but you do because your skin just looks like really good. That's the kind of look I go for on a day-to-day basis. I'm gonna start off with SPF. I wasn't the best about wearing SPF, like I haven't been kind of like all my life, but since living in Miami, now Singapore, I've tried to be better about wearing it daily, especially because after Pico, I got Pico laser on my freckles to try to lighten them / remove them. So since doing that, I've tried to be smarter about sunblock, and I really, really like this one. It was in one of my previous hauls that I have posted. I'll put it up here if you want to go check it out. But it's the Beauty of Joseon Relief Sun Aqua Fresh SPF. I really like this SPF because it's light. It feels so light on your skin. It doesn't leave a white cast and it doesn't burn your eyeballs. Anyway, so yeah, I'm filming on my new camera. Very excited about it. I have been wanting this camera for a really long time, like honestly a year, but I just haven't pulled the trigger because I didn't really want to spend the money on a camera right now. I literally sold my G7X and it was really easy to sell. Literally within 5 minutes of posting it, someone reached out and was like, hey, is this still for sale? So yeah, I sold it and got this. For my life right now, something like this is actually so much more useful. I mean, everybody knows about it now, so it's not like that discreet, but it's so small. It just definitely, I feel more confident about whipping it out in public, and I'm hoping I can get more of mine and my fiance's travels with this just because it's like bling on recording. So I'm still learning how to use it. This is my first time using the mic, so hopefully it sounds good. Yeah, now I no longer have my G7X, which is really sad, and it was with me on so many journeys and solo travels that it's really sad to let it go, but I'm excited to have this. I think this is better for my lifestyle now, and it's like a lot less awkward to pull out, and it's cute and it's little and it's compact and it's so much lighter than my G7X. So one method that I've been doing since moving here to Singapore that I didn't do before is it's called, I think, sandwiching or something like that. I didn't bring any lip balm either up here, so that's good and that's fun and that's fresh. You spray a setting spray first and then you put your primer, and then after you do your makeup you spray setting spray again. So that's what we're gonna do today. Use the Charlotte Tilbury one. I don't know if it matters which one you use, but this is the one I use. It does burn my eyelids a little bit, so it's not my favorite, but like the Morphe one I like. This is like spraying into the wind. 1 second. Yeah, I don't know why I'm filming this outside. I thought it would just be like kind of peaceful because like the plants, nice view, and it's just like beautiful outside. Actually, it's not like hot at all. It's so nice up here, and kind of get myself comfortable like talking outside, but there's nobody up here, so it's like not that awkward. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with my primer. Kind of nice because the setting spray, I can tell it's dried down on my skin nice and fast. I just got this one because I've been looking for a new primer and everybody was raving about Yunjak, don't know how to say it, Skin Perfecting Protective Base Primer. I got this off Shopee. I don't think it's any better than any other primer I've ever used in my life, so there's that. There's gonna be hair all on my face. This was probably a bad idea, but hopefully this is like peaceful and kind of a vibe and it's nice to watch, because if not, that's gonna be depressing. If I would have brought a headband and like prepared better, this wouldn't have been as bad, but too late. Also so windy up here. I hope this camera doesn't fly over. That would really be a test to see if this microphone is like really good, as if you can still hear me with all this wind. That's the kind of primer you're gonna wanna let like sit for a second and let it dry. This next step, I've just recently started doing this, but you can skip this step if you're not like, you don't want something all over. But I have noticed that I really like a wash of foundation all over my skin, and I only use one pump for my whole face. I just kind of like this because you get a little bit more oomph than if you just used concealer. But if you're just using one pump and like a super fluffy brush, it kind of just gives like an evenness all over your skin without being like heavy. Like last week I used it with this super fluffy, which is like a powder brush, and how it like airbrushed it all over my face. I actually had 2 people tell me like, your skin looks really nice, like your makeup looks really good. And I just put it on the back of my hand, and then I work it into the brush like that, and I go all over. So doesn't do like too much, but it's kind of just like a wash of evenness all over your face. But in Miami, I never used to do this. I used to just wear concealer. Actually, once I moved to Miami, I stopped wearing foundation because it was just too heavy on my skin. This brush, to make sure that there's no like streaky lines on my face. This is a method I've done since moving to Miami that has carried over to my routine here. If you don't want to put something all over your face, that step, don't do that. You could just do this. You're going to need a corrector and a concealer. These are going to be the 2 things you use, because the corrector, this one by Rare Beauty, is super, super light. So it helps to make it so you can put less concealer on. And then the Tower 28 concealer is really nice because it's so thin, but it gives you coverage, but it doesn't feel like the Tarte Shape Tape, like it's not thick and like too much. This combo feels very light on the skin and not like super heavy cakey. So this is the combo that I really like doing. So if you don't want to do the foundation, or you don't want to do the all over skin tint, an under eye corrector and a concealer. I put it on the darkest like purpley parts of my under eyes, so like here, and this will just make it so I can use even less concealer. And I'm just gonna go in with a brush and pat that out. Well, I love how I'm saying this. Like, this is, I mean, it's kind of a how-to, but like, take everything with a grain of salt. I'm not a professional makeup artist. This is just what I have found works really well on my skin since living in humid climates, which I'm going on living 8 or 9 years in humid climates. So I really got the routine down. So now I take the Tower 28 concealer, or any like serum-y concealer. Like, I don't like a stick unless you need to cover like blemishes, but nothing too heavy, because again, what you don't want to have in this kind of weather is like feeling stuff on your skin. So then I just go in, cover a little bit more that I want to do. I cover this chunk of melasma. Anywhere else that I see like veins popping through or like redness, I'll go and cover that up. I have some darkness in the corner of my eyes, and then I'm just gonna go pat this out. It's so funny like doing my makeup out here, like this isn't true light. She's harsh. And then I just kind of run that over my eyelids. I don't do too much because I don't really wear much eyeshadow during the day. Before I set everything, I'm gonna go put on my super light bronzer. So this is like literally number 1. Like, it's so light. But before I set things, it'll allow it to go on a little bit darker because it's sticky. Since I forgot a brush, I'm just gonna use this brush, but that's fine. If you have another brush, use another brush. And this is just gonna add warmth to my face, especially because I don't really have a tan or anything. This just brings a little life back to my face, but it's not gonna be like crazy orange bronzer. It's not gonna look like I'm sun-kissed or anything like that. It's just gonna bring a little depth back to my face, since foundation can kind of pale ghost you out. If you're oily, you probably want to skip this and just use a powder. But I find that this one from Fui is like matte and not glowy. So even though it's a cream, it like goes onto the skin like a matte, and it's long wearing. I definitely saw at the end of the day. And it's not like too creamy where it feels like it's gonna melt off your face. And you don't want to go crazy with blush either if you live in a humid climate, because 9 times out of 10 you're gonna be hot and you're gonna have a natural flush under your skin. And especially because you aren't wearing like heavy foundation or anything, it'll come out. Like, you'll be able to see your color just a little bit. Okay, now we set. I'm a dry girl. I don't like setting too much. However, in saying that, a powder that I've really, really, really started to like, the Huda. This, even like if I come home midday and then I'm going back out, I will take this on a little powder puff and just push it onto the pores that show up like right here once you've been out and about all day. But this She just looks so good. You can use a powder puff, you can use it with a brush, you can honestly apply this whatever is like best for your skin. But I really like using this to set because it sets and blurs all together, like 2 in 1. And then instead of like setting with like a pressed, which I have yet to find a press that I really liked. I do want to try this one, the Huda Beauty one, in pressed form to see if I like it, because I used to have the Charlotte Tilbury one and honestly I didn't think it did anything. So I'm not really convinced that pressed powder does that much. If you put it on with a brush, it will feel light on your skin. Go over the blush just a bit to help with the long lasting, to help it blend in with the texture of the rest of your skin. Like that. So that's how our skin is looking. So it's very blurred, there's something there, but you kind of just look put together, and it doesn't feel like I have stuff like packed onto my face. Like, it feels pretty skin-like. So with that same bronzer, I'm just gonna go ahead and sweep that across my lid. Ideally not with the same brush, but I only brought this brush, so what am I gonna do? I got a lift tint a couple months ago, and my favorite thing about lash lifts is like it looks like that, right, for like a month and a half, but then afterwards when you curl your eyelashes it sticks. Like, I'm curling them and it's gonna like hold the curl that I'm curling into for a little while. Like, it extends another month just doing that. That's why I do love a lash lift, but I still only try to do it like a few times a year if I'm like special occasions, anything like that. Now I'm gonna go in with mascara, brown, black. I have one that's like burgundy. That looks really good too. Like, just whatever your preference is. This doesn't relate to like humidity proof makeup at all, so I'm just gonna fill them in a little bit. You do you and how you would do your eyebrows. Set them down. This stuff, amazing. The Maybelline Super Lock. Next, optional, but if you want to, you can. If you want to add a little bit of glow back to your skin, because we used matte everything, we used a powder, I really like something like a glow balm or stick to just touch those high points. And I don't go crazy with this again because you'll end up sweating here anyway. You'll have a glow eventually throughout the day, so I don't go crazy. But for like the first hour or whatever that I'm out and about, I like having a little glow. For lips, I mean, if we're talking long wear, we're talking using this Huda Beauty contour stick, or you can use the Sachu Beauty or the Sachu, whatever it's called, lip thing, if you have that. But like, a lip stain is really great for places like this, because you kind of want everything that you don't feel on your skin. And usually lip stains, once you like peel it off or once you have it on your lip, you can like lick your lips and it just feels like your lips. That's why something like this is really good here. What I like to do is use the Huda Beauty, oopsies, I got it on my finger, like this little stick, to just contour a little bit. So then I just contour the top, contour the bottom with that. Then I go in with this Bobbi Brown lip liner in beige. And I have such pale lips, so this beige actually offers me quite a bit of color. Then I like to go in, but you want a lip product that's, again, more balmy, less like a lipstick. Something that kind of feels like it could be a chapstick or a lip balm. Like this is really, really great because, again, I don't want a thick thing of lipstick across my lips. And then if you're a gloss girl, go in with your gloss. If you're not a gloss girl, I get it. Sometimes I like a gloss, kind of depends on my mood. And then finally, we're gonna set this all with the setting spray. Once again, this is amazing. I've run out of this, so I'm gonna use this. But if you have this or something like this, your best friend in a climate like this. You can even do this, and then if you're dry and that like dries you out, put like a dewier one on top. This will save your life in a humid climate. Like, just this, you could do your regular makeup routine probably and use this, and you'll have more long-lasting makeup in like a humid climate like this. Oh gosh, is this still recording? Look at that. And it's been 30 minutes exactly. So yes, this is the final makeup look. Let's get close. Looks good, right? It's like daytime makeup. Like, we're not trying to be full beat baddies right now. This is, we live where it's super hot and I'm gonna sweat in my makeup. I don't wanna feel it on my skin, but I still wanna look pretty and put together. But in all my years living in a hot, humid climate, especially going from living in dry, hot climates like Texas, or dry, cold climates like Chicago, to living in Miami to here, I have learned things that like I can do in Miami or even here that I'm definitely not doing in Texas or California. So hopefully you were able to take a couple tips or tricks. I'm not saying you need to replicate this look exactly, or that you just like chilling with me. Maybe you turn this on to get ready with me. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, maybe consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of me and my content, maybe consider subscribing. But as far as this video goes, I think we're done. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye. I'm gonna take some pictures for the thumbnail. Oh, it's like really blown out right here, but that's okay. I'm still learning how to use this camera. So please, 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 I hope this looks good.